version of the rules. So the actual game manual right here, the big game manual, is actually like 65 pages long. We're not going to go through that right now. They came out with this year, for the first time ever, what's called a Student-Friendly Appendix, which basically means it's a very shortened version of the game manual. I think it's like 5 pages long. But before we get into that, the VEX Robotics Competition Game Design Committee actually wrote us a letter. Would anyone like to read that letter? Okay. You want to read it, Nora?
Hi kids, welcome to VEX IQ Robotics Competition. We are so happy that you want to be on a team. Each year there is a new game with a new set of rules, and playing fairly by those rules is very important. We know that learning new things can be hard, and that the big game manual can be a lot, kind of a lot. So we're here to help you. You and your teammates can start here and work together to learn about the important parts of the field, how to earn points, study basic rules, and see different ways to play the game. But these are only some of the rules of this year's game, and you will need to know them all. So after you understand everything here, and before you go to your first event, head over the official game manual to make sure you understand all the rules. Good luck this season, and we hope that you have fun, make lots of friends, and work together to build your best robot ever. Your robotics friends, the VEX Robotics Competition Game Design
The very first page of the Student-Friendly Appendix talks about how you play this game, and then a field overview and some definitions. So we're going to talk about that really quick. As I read through this, I want you guys to look up here and be following along with your eyes. Sound good? So how do you play rapid relay? How do you play the game? The main goals of this game, 4 main goals. 1, pass the balls between the robots. So you have 2 robots on the field. We talked about that already. And you saw the yellow plush balls that are on the field. The goal is to pass the balls to each other. So far, so good? How? By pushing them, by launching them.
How do you catch them if you launch?
Maybe you don't. And that's maybe something that we discuss when it comes to designing our robot. Maybe we don't try to catch the balls or try to launch the balls for partners. Maybe we just simply push them with our robot. Another main goal to play this game is to score balls through those targets. So you saw the little squares that you're supposed to shoot through. You can get points that way. We want to clear the switches. Did you guys see those little round discs that are in the goals, and when the ball goes through, it kind of knocks them back? That's another main goal. And then you have human loaders. So we actually have 2 drivers on the field. And not only do we have 2 drivers standing there, but we also have a 3rd driver called a loader who actually brings the balls back to add them back into the game, into the field, through the loading station, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But the field overview here is really important because these are all the different parts of the field that you need to know the names of. So take a look up here. There are 3 balls used in the game. How many balls? 3. But only 2 balls can be in the field at any given time. So you can actually start the match with 2 balls in the robots. So wouldn't it be kind of cool if you started the match with a ball in this robot and a ball in this robot, and then you kind of passed them to each other, picked them up, and go and what? Shoot them into the goals, right? 1 ball starts outside the field and can be used by the loader. We talked about that. You can't put all 3 in there. And then only 2 balls can be on the field at the same time. We already talked about that as well. Now, if you look right here at this picture, we saw that out there on the field, right? This whole thing is called the goal wall. This whole thing is called the goal wall. And it has the switches, and it has the targets. How many switches are there?
4.
4. How many goals are there?
4.
Targets. Yep. You score by shooting a ball through there, clearing a switch, and shooting it through the target. And then here's the loading station. Did you guys see the loading station?
Yes.
So the cool thing about the loading station is you take that yellow ball, you put it in this yellow square, it goes down the ramp. Any idea what this little wall right here would be for? What do you think, Brooklyn?
So it doesn't roll.
So it doesn't roll into the field. And we're going to talk about why. It's going to hit that backboard there. And is it going to go left or is it going to go right? We don't know. We don't know. So it is harder, and that's kind of the element of surprise with this game, is that the ball is going to roll that way and you're going to have to drive over and get it, or the ball is going to roll this way and you have to drive this way and get it. So you never know. It's completely random which direction the ball is going to drop. But that is called the loading station. What's this called?
The loading station.
There is what's called a pickup zone right here. So after you launch the ball into the goals, into the targets here, clear the switches, the ball will fall down and stay behind this yellow tube right there. This is where the balls go after scoring. You guys remember how we talked about that third driver that's at the field? Do you guys remember the name of that third driver? It starts with an L. What do you think? The loader. So the loader can then actually grab one of the balls, grab the balls from this pickup zone, and then take it back over here to the load zone and drop it down there through the load station. Of course, we have the starting zones right here. See the pink starting zone? That's number 1. And the orange starting zone, that's number 2. What do you think the starting zones are for? What do you think, B?
Because that's where they have to start. They can't start anywhere else.
Yep, so one robot's going to start in this section somewhere, touching the wall. And then a second robot's going to start in this section somewhere, touching the wall as well. So that's the starting zone. Can't start here. Can't start here. You can only start
right
here.
against the goal.
You can't start here. Can't start now. You can't even get in there. That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Can't stand next to the goal.
We're going to talk about the different versions of the game. I'm actually going to skip the robot skills challenge for this session right here because we don't need to worry about that right now. But we're going to talk about the teamwork challenge. Can somebody read this line right here, this sentence right here? Katie, go ahead.
The teamwork challenge is when 2 robots work together to learn as many points as possible in a 1 minute 60-second match.
So a teamwork challenge, they call it teamwork challenge because you are literally working with another random team that you have no idea who they are. They might be from a different school. You have no clue who they are, but they put their robot in the starting zone, you put your robot in the starting zone, and then you have 1 match, 1 minute, 60 seconds to get as many possible points together. Are you working together or against each other?
Together.
Not against, you're working together, right? So whatever the points that they score and the points that we score go together to get as many points as possible. But we're going to skip the robot skills challenge for now. Basically, the robot skills is a completely different part of a tournament. When we go to a tournament, there will be teamwork matches and skills matches. We'll talk about skills at a different time. But right now, we're going to talk about how to earn points. Because don't you guys want to know how many points you could earn when you're playing with another team? Don't you guys want to figure out how we score points? So as I'm reading through this, I want you to think about strategies and what we should focus on this season with our robots. Okay? Because some points are going to be worth way more. Some actions are going to be worth way more points than other actions. And shouldn't we go for as many points as we can get? So think about that for a second. So if you look right here, you can get points by passing the ball to another robot. You can get points by scoring goals into these target areas, which we talked about. You can get points by clearing switches, these discs right here, what we talked about. But how much are they worth? We don't know. We don't know yet. But if you take a look at this chart right here, this table, it explains all the rules, all the swimming rules. So here we go. You guys ready for this? Before we even get into the passing, I want to go down to the goals here and the cleared switches. So you ready for this? When you clear a switch, so if you shoot it and it hits that blue disc right there, you cleared one switch. That is 1 point. If you clear this switch right here, now you're at 2 points. You clear this switch, now you're at
3 points.
You clear this switch, and now you're at 4 points. So that's clearing the switches, right? Is 1 point each. Also, once you score the ball into the goal, that's an additional point. So let's pause and back up for a second here. If I shoot the ball into this goal right here and I clear the switch and score a goal, how many total points is that?
4.
If you have 2, right? You clear the switch, that's 1. You score a goal at the same time, that's 2. Let's just say you do it here as well. So now you're at 2 points, and now you're at 2 more points. Now you're at a total of 4. You do it here, now you're at a total of
6.
You do it here, now you're a total of 8, right? But then here's the thing, you might be thinking, why is that different? Like, why do they differentiate between that? That's because once you clear that switch, you could, in theory, keep shooting a ball in that same goal. So think about this for a second. I shoot it in here, I clear the switch, I get a goal, that's 2 points. I go get another ball, I shoot it in the same one. The switch is already cleared, now we're at 3 points for scoring a goal. I go get another ball, I come right here and I shoot it in the same one again. The switch is already cleared, but I scored another goal, now we're at 4 points, right? So we have to kind of think about that. All of those things that we just talked about, clearing the switches, scoring the goals, are each worth 1 point. That's it. Here's where the majority of the points come from. You ready for this? This is the big part. If you have one of those switches cleared, like we talked about, and you pass the ball to your alliance, you get 4 points just for that pass. You guys hear that? So let's just say that this switch right here is cleared, and I had passed the ball to my alliance partner. They grab the ball and they shoot it. That pass right there alone is worth 4 points. Okay? Just passing the ball is worth 4 points.
Do you get 1 more point after you pass it, and then the next robot gets a goal?
Remember, whatever points they score and we score are together. It's combined. Good question.
What happens if you hit
All the switches?
switches and there's still time left?
That's a good question. You've already cleared the switches, right? And there's still a bunch of time left. What should you focus on then? The passing, because watch, passing in more goals, because watch. If you have 2 of the switches clear, let's say you clear that one, and you pass the ball, how many points is that worth? 8 points. Let's say you have 3 switches cleared. You cleared that one, and that one, and you pass the ball. Now it's worth 10 points for every single pass. So let's do some quick math. Let's say you have 3 passes. They're each worth 10 points. 10, 20, 30 points. Just from passing it 3 times and scoring goals. And then finally, here's the big one. You guys ready for this? If all 4 of your switches are cleared, 1, 2, 3, 4, if all of them are cleared, and you pass the ball, it's actually worth 12 points. So let's talk about this. Let's stop and think just for a second about all these point totals. Clearing the switches is 1 point. Scoring goals is 1 point. Passing is 4, 8, 10, or 12 points. What should our focus be? Passing.
I thought it was to shoot all of the things.
Yes, we should probably clear the switches, because then the more, you're both right, because the more switches that we clear and the more passes that we do, they're worth more points. Passing should be important. Guys, here's the thing. We don't ever want to do a match where we just go grab a ball, go and shoot it, grab another ball, go and shoot it, grab another ball, go and shoot it, grab another ball, go and shoot it. Because now we're talking about a bunch of 1-pointers. We need to pass the ball, or retrieve the ball from our alliance in order to get as many points as possible. The whole point of this is to score as many points as possible, right? So why wouldn't we try to tackle the high point scorings? Yeah.
What if we actually, like, we hit the target, but it doesn't actually go in?
That's a good question. So if it actually hits the clear or the switch and doesn't clear it and bounces back into the fields that we're talking about, then you can go pick up the ball again with your robot and shoot it again. But it will not count. It will not count as a cleared switch or a goal because it has to pass through completely and land in the pickup zone. Another good question.
Will it still be worth points?
If it bounces off? No.
Like if it bounces off the field.
Oh yeah, yes, that's a good question. Also, if you shoot it and it goes out of the field, that pass right there will not count, and so you have to take the ball back to the load zone and drop it in and start the process all over again. Yeah, so that's why our aim is incredibly important. We don't want to just line up here and launch it over the field wall here, or the goal wall. Question?
What happens if we accidentally put it in, like not the sides where they go after you shoot it in?
Right here?
Yeah, what if you put it in there?
Yeah, then you're gonna have to pick it, your loader is gonna have to pick it up and put it back into the load zone. Important scoring rules. We've already kind of talked about all this stuff, but this gives us actual definitions. So right here, in order to call it a goal, a ball has to score through the target and land in the pickup zone. We know that. That makes sense. You launch the ball, it goes through the target, and it lands in here. That is considered a goal. Yep. A cleared switch is the same thing. When a ball hits the switch, hits the disc there, and knocks it backwards, that is considered a clear switch. And worth, how many points? One. Very good. And then a pass. This one's really, really important. A pass is counted when both robots touch the ball before it leaves the field, before it goes into the goal. In the teamwork challenge, a ball can be passed for points only one time per goal. So I want to talk about that for a second. Notice it doesn't say a pass is counted when you launch it into the air and the other robot catches it. That would be really hard to do, wouldn't it? It is considered a pass when both robots simply touch the ball. So you can literally just bump the ball with your robot, and then the other robot comes and gets it. That's considered a pass. And honestly, we should make it as simple as possible, right? It would be cool if you had to launch the ball into the air and the other robot had to catch it and then launch it into the goal. But you know what? That'd be really, really difficult to do. So have one robot touch the ball, the other robot comes and grabs it and shoots it. That's considered a pass. All right. General safety rules here, or general rules, and just in general, stay safe, always be careful, don't damage the field. You're actually not allowed to step onto the field this year.
Last year?
Yeah, last year they did, this year it's a rule, you're not allowed to step onto the field.
And how do you get the ball in the middle without any touch?
Well, that's going to be the challenge, isn't it?
Then you get
That's
the
why
robot.
we're here. That's why we're
use
here.
the robot together.
Or you use the robot, yep. Be respectful, treat everyone nicely. You guys are so good at that already. We expect you to continue to be respectful and kind the rest of the season. Common sense, use your brain to make good choices. This is really, really important. The robot size is incredibly important. You can't just build whatever size you want. You can't have a robot that's this big, this wide, this long, this tall. There are constraints. Yeah, you're right. So a robot may never be bigger than 23 inches wide by 73 inches long. So this right here is actually considered 23 inches wide and 73 inches long.
We could use the field to measure a robot.
We could use the field to measure a robot.
Playing against, does that we win the whole game?
Well, the thing is you guys tell me, would it be smart to build a robot that's literally the whole length of the field?
No.
I don't think so.
Because you can't move then.
You can't even move unless you have wheels here, 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 and here, and then you just kind of go like that. But then your robot can't get past you at all.
So that's not fair.
Unless maybe you start here and you're the one that's constantly getting the balls and passing them to your partner who stays over here. But that is a massive robot. You guys saw how big that field is. That would be silly to make a robot that's 73 inches long. I don't know why they said that, to be honest with you. Maybe just so that we can see a variety of robot designs because of the size. But here's another one. A robot cannot be taller than 15 inches. So guys, we're talking probably this tall. It cannot be taller than that.
And because the whole front is like this, plus 2 more inches.
Plus 3 more inches, yeah. Yep, you're exactly right. More rules here. Keep it together. Your robot should not fall apart on purpose on the field. Guys, sometimes the robot will fall apart. What do you do if it falls apart in the middle of the match? Do you know, Beatrice?
Like, do you have to like, if it doesn't in the middle of the match, you kind of have to, like the builder kind of has to come in and do it really quick.
Because the time is still going. So you literally have to put your controller down, pick up your broken robot, fix it really fast, pick up your controller and start driving again. But you have to do it fast because you only have what?
1 minute.
1 minute, right? Driver rules, only drivers can control the robot during the match. Obviously, you can't have somebody in the stands sitting there with the controller driving the robot. It has to be the drivers. No hands, so during the match you can't touch the field or the robots. You can if it's broken, unless it breaks. Yep. Switch drivers. Okay, so this is really important.
Every 30 minutes you have to switch.
30 seconds, basically 30 seconds. But you have 2 drivers, and there's going to be a countdown, and the MC will actually say, driver switch controllers. So it's counting down 60, 59, 58, 57, all the way down. When it says 35, all the way down to 25, there's a 10-second window right there where you have to switch your controller. Okay, you can't hold it for the entire 1 minute. So at that 35 down to 25, you have a 10-second window there. That's when you switch your controller to your partner. Okay? Last page, look, page 606. So when you're setting up here, robots must touch the wall. We already talked about that on the inside of the starting zone. So you can't just put your robot in the middle of the field here and start. It has to start against the wall here, here, or here. Only 1 robot in a starting zone. So here's a starting zone. You can only have 1 robot in here. Can the other robot be on this side?
No.
No. This is huge. This is really important for you guys to know. Each robot can start the match with 1 ball preloaded into that robot.
Oh, that's cool.
So you start right here against the wall, and you can literally stick a ball in the robot to start the match. And same thing with the other robot.
And then you could easily just go? Yeah.
You could. Well, here's the thing. Did you guys hear what she said? She said you could easily just go here if you have a ball preloaded, turn and go shoot. But what should we probably do first?
Pass.
Pass. Wouldn't it be a smart strategy that if we're right here and they're right here, they launch it, we pick up their ball, they pick up ours, and then go shoot? 2 passes for the 2 balls. Wouldn't that be a smart strategy? What do you think?
What? Can you pass a ball at the same time and like do it?
Yeah. Would that be fun to watch? What do you think, Nora?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does somebody have to count up the points, because when you pass it, you have to remember before the game's done?
That's going to be the hard part. There's actually a scorekeeper that stands there with an iPad, and they're going to have to yell out "pass" when they see a pass, and they keep tally on the iPad how many passes there are.
Because
and that's hard to do.
You can't remember how much.
There's no way you can remember.
Pass.
Exactly. There's no way that you can remember that.
Because your brain is focused on everything else.
Exactly.
And you can't stop to think.
Oh wait, how many passes did we have here? Yeah.
And
somebody else will do that.
And they'll try to get it higher than the other person.
Exactly. We're going to skip down to here, right here, when you're loading the balls. Remember so you have a driver, and then you have a loader. So the balls are put in the field by the loader. They can literally stick it right there in the load station. Only 2 balls can be on the field at the same time. We've already talked about that. All balls must be loaded at the loading station unless it's the rapid load time period. We'll talk about the rapid load time period in a second. It's kind of confusing, but we'll get to it. No robots may be in the load zone at the same time that the ball is released by the loader. So you cannot drive up here with your robot and just park in this load zone. You can't just park there and wait for the loader to drop it in and then you just catch it. You have to be back here. Once they drop it in, you have to see which side it rolls because it might roll over here, it might roll over here, and then you can go in and get it. Does that make sense? Question, Katie.
What if you like stop right here in front of this bar and then you can like turn to
Yeah,
this?
you want to be definitely right here in the middle because if it rolls over here, then you have quick access. Rolls over here, you have quick access. You don't want to be parked right here, and then the ball drops in and rolls over here because then you have the whole field that you have to cross. Yes, Esme?
And if you're on if your row is the ball is getting dropped in and your robot's on this side and it comes out on this side,
Yeah.
it's too hard to get.
That's way too far of a drive, and you're wasting time, and we don't have a lot of time. We only have
1 minute.
That's it. Let's see, what else here? The loader may not reach into the load zone when loading a ball. So whoever the loader is, that'll be one of your jobs. You can't drop it in there and then reach into the load zone, grab the ball. Once you release it into there, it's gone and you have to let the robots do all the touching. Pickup zone, remember this is the pickup zone right here. The loaders can pick up the balls from the pickup zone only when they fall into here. Think about this for a second. We said there's 2 robots on the field, which means how many drivers are standing here?
2, 3,
4, right? Because you have 2 drivers per robot. So robot, robot, driver, 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 driver.
I thought there's only going to be 2 drivers.
2 robots,
Oh yeah,
4
because
drivers.
every 30 seconds.
Because then you switch.
Yeah. Are going to be a driver.
Not necessarily. But not only are there 2 drivers and 2 drivers, but there's also 2 loaders. So how many kids are standing at the field?
4, 5, 6,
6. 2 drivers, 2 drivers, 2 loaders. 2, 4,
6.
6.
Don't we only have 5 kids on our team?
It's not. It's 2 of our drivers and 1 of our loaders. And then the other team is 2 drivers and 1 loader. So we only need 3 of our kids up here at a time, but there's 6 total kids. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So here's something else to think about strategy-wise. Wouldn't it be kind of cool? Because remember, we're working with the other team. What if you had 1 loader standing back here at the pickup zone and the other loader standing over here at the load station? This loader does what? Picks up the ball and tosses it to this person, and what do they do?
No, drop
it into the field.
Toss it.
You could?
Yeah, you can.
Why not?
What if it actually falls? Yeah,
You would have to be really, really careful.
What if you shoot a goal?
Yeah, you're not going to do that. We honestly, we'll practice that, but if we're not very good at it, we'll definitely come over here and run around.
Like you can just sprint and run around and then
Yeah.
drop it and run back.
Now, I want to talk about the rapid load time period because that is kind of confusing. So depending on how much time is left in the match, how many seconds are in a match? 60 seconds. When there are 15 seconds left in the match, it's counted all the way down. 17, 16, 15. Once it hits that 15-second mark, it's called the rapid load time period. Okay, where's that? The rapid load time period with 15 seconds left. Here's what happens in the rapid load section. Ready for this? What can happen? You don't have to load the ball into the load zone anymore. You can actually just put it somewhere in the starting zone for the robot to pick up. Why is that a good thing? Katie?
Because you can be able to shoot them in closer. Because like if someone drops it like right here, you can just pick it up and then keep going and shoot.
So you don't have to drive as far to pick up the ball. You just grab it right here, shoot. Drop it right here, grab it, shoot. Grab it, shoot. Grab it, shoot. But how many points are those worth? Only 1. I want to think about this for a second because if you don't load it onto the field like this, you can still load it into the load zone and still do passes. However, in the rapid load time period, those last 15 seconds, if you put the ball into the starting zone, you can no longer get points for passing. Did you guys hear that? You can no longer get points for passing. It's totally a waste of time to pass it now because you won't get any extra points. So someone talk strategy with me here. Somebody talk strategy with me. should we, during the last 15 seconds, should we just put the ball in, try to grab it, and shoot as many points as you can? Because it's only 1 point each time. You're probably going to get how many goals in that 15 seconds? 2, 3, maybe.
Maybe even 4.
But if you don't do the rapid load time period, and you actually grab the ball and put it in here, you can still get points for passing. So I want you to process this for 1 second. If all 4 switches are cleared, and you have 15 seconds left, let's just say you get the ball, you put it in here, and you get 2 goals. That's how many total points? 2. But if we say, you know what, we're not going to do the rapid load for the last 15 seconds, let's grab the ball, put it in the load zone, then we can pass it and shoot a goal. If we even score only 1 goal in those last 15 seconds, we were able to pass, how many points is that worth?
4.
Well, if all 4 of these are cleared.
12.
12. So what's worth more points? 12 or 2? So we really have to think about that rapid load
You can make a lot
time.
of points if you do it, and then like you get it here, and then you pass, and then you shoot.
Well, remember, you can only do 1 pass per goal. Remember that? So we have to think about that. But that's exactly what the rapid load time is. It's the last 15 seconds. And here's the thing, guys. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do just drop them in here. If we get really good at driving and score goals, maybe we can grab it, shoot, grab it, shoot, grab it, shoot, grab it, shoot, and score a bunch of points that way. We'll just have to think about that and definitely come up with some strategies there. That's it. Those are the rules.